Brighten up those already bright mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lekter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Mornings at the Cabin, Tuesday morning. Ollie, Wheeler, no Lekter as of yet. He took yesterday off, didn't get a lot of sleep over the weekend. He was partying too hard with college friends, but also an injury to his puppy. We wish Jaya a quick and speedy recovery. It doesn't seem that serious, but I imagine it was a bit shocking.
Yeah, she was hanging out here yesterday morning in her little collar and a little cone and everything.
She had the cone on?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sad time.
Oh, so long, lamp. She must have looked like a lamp.
A little bit like a lamp.
We're supposed to have a guest host in this morning. Now, I haven't heard from her. So...
Oh, it must be Chrissy.
She may have forgotten. Chrissy Kerrigan is supposed to be joining us this morning. We like having her on the show. She adds a bit of... she tempers our mood a little bit. You know? If it's a good mood, she tempers that. If it's a bad mood, she tempers that too.
She adds a temper to it.
She adds a temper. She adds a mood, is what she does. So a big day coming
big old
towards.
day, Cabin Radio.
Big old day. Why? What's going on?
I don't know. You just said it was a big day. Why,
I know,
what is
but
going
then
on?
you agreed with me, so I figured. Oh, I was just making something up. Do you have something?
No, I thought you had something.
No.
Oh.
No.
Never mind then.
Oh, okay. Well, good morning, everybody.
Average day, everybody. Average day at Cabin Radio.
Average day here at Cabin Radio, just sitting around, hanging out. It's a beautiful day this morning. It's raining.
It's not a beautiful. It's
I know.
a horrible
It's
day.
+9.
It's awful.
We're getting that moisture towards the end of September, heading into October. People say it's threatening to turn white out there. What are you over under? September October 1st.
28th.
You think it's going to happen before October 1st or after? Before? All right. I will call after. And there's the bet. And it's for $10.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Lekter in the building with a fuzzy little fuzzy butt. Jaya, who is injured. Lekter, you want to fill us in on what happened with Jaya Bear?
Well,
or
she
Jaya
was...
Bean as Nicole calls her, but I call her Jaya Bear.
It
Yeah, I
confuses
kinda like
everybody
that
listening
she
who's like, J-Bear, what happened to
No.
J-Bear? J-Bear's got a
Bear.
cut on his leg?
Jay Bear's
Bear's
fine. We might have to put him down. Jaya Bear just has a cut on her leg that happened over the week while you guys were out of town.
Yeah, I guess she was taken for a walk at the sandpits. Nicole's parents were looking after her in Finnegan like they always do because they're great like that.
Absolutely.
And, took her out to the sandpits, I guess, on Saturday afternoon. And she came, bounding back with a giant gash in her leg.
Ow!
And bleeding, not limping, still happy.
Oh, yeah.
Just having a good
Big
time.
goofy look on her face.
Yeah, of course. So took her to the vet. They got her stitched up. The stitches, for whatever reason, started coming out. I don't know if
It's a tough spot to have a cut on right there.
It
a lot
is,
of flexibility there. So
yeah. So I had to take her back yesterday and get her stitched up again, which was kind of stressful, obviously, because she's not a puppy anymore.
No,
and it's kind of hard on dogs to have them put down or not put
Good
down,
Lord.
put under.
It's a cut on her leg.
Put
Lekter.
under, not down.
Oh, they put her under.
Under, yeah.
That is scary.
Yeah,
that is
twice
scary.
in like a span of 3 days.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It's kind of tough on a middle-aged
dog system. Middle-aged dog.
I think you got away with it.
She's still got a lot of work.
She's occupied.
She's, you know what? Her self-worth is through the roof.
She was happy to see you.
Yes, she was. She's always happy. Jaya Bear.
So cute.
She's adorable. I love her so much. She got the cutest little face, other than my dog, of course, who has the cuter face. But she seems to be in good spirits. She's all wrapped up now.
Yeah, well, she was in here yesterday, like while I was waiting to be able to take her into the vet to get it stitched up again. She was hanging out here just with basically an open gash, tendon just basically in plain view of anyone. And she's just like, yeah, whatever.
Have some shame.
Have a look.
Cover up. That's
know,
a tendon. Right? What am I supposed to tell my kids about that? Jaya, glad you're feeling better. Oh, that's so,
She's on the mend.
When dogs get injured, it's just the worst.
It is the worst.
It is the worst.
Why can't people get injured
right?
instead?
That's what I'd like to see.
Hang on.
I'd like to see more people injured. If I could see a human being walking down the street with a cone on, I'd be happy.
I'd sacrifice my leg for that dog any day.
That's right. Me too. I would take a gash on my leg over a gash on my puppy's leg. I would, actually, I think. You know what? I'd take stitches on my leg over my dog getting stitches.
Totally.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we get ice cream.
Yeah. Well, they get
For
ice cream. They can
stitches.
have ice cream.
Would you take sleeping in a cage overnight over your dog sleeping in a cage overnight?
I basically do sleep in a cage overnight. I have a very thin slice of the bed that I am not allowed to move from. So if I move slightly to I sleep on my right. If I move slightly forward, I fall off the bed. If I move slightly back, I fall into Phoenix, and she kicks me away.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, look who you're talking to, Ollie. Our dogs sleep better than us.
That's right.
For the most part.
That's right.
Does your dog sleep on the bed?
She does. She starts on the bed, and then she'll roll down onto the floor. Just roll.
Okay.
Yeah. But, she'll come up on the bed. But as soon as I leave and Phoenix is still in the bed, Betty's right there on my pillow.
And
they waste no time.
Do you have Jerry and Finnegan both on the bed?
If they want.
That's right.
That's a pretty cozy situation.
It's a little cozy.
Yeah. It's not good for the dog at all. It's not good for their behavior or anything. But,
they look
I
so
don't
cozy.
care.
They look so snug.
Absolutely. My dog is my baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And if as a dog parent, I'm the worst. I am the worst. Yeah. If someone else is treating my dog poorly or doesn't love them just enough, I'm like, as a dog owner, I feel like my dog is not getting the level of love from you that it could be.
Yeah.
And I will crap all over their personality, their personage, their career, their education.
Especially
Absolutely.
in like the first or second week of school.
Yeah.
Like we're all a little tense.
We're all a little tense.
Wondering how our dogs are doing.
Dogs
out
are
there.
back in class.
That's right.
That's right. So I'm going to write at least 40 to 50 emails to anyone who's wronged my dog or I think is perceived wronged my dog. Listen, I'm just trying to protect my dog from the reality that my dog may not be that good a prancer. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Luckily, my dogs are top prancers.
That's right.
So
that's right.
I don't have these problems.
My dog belongs on the best prancing squad.
I do have a bad dog Penny story to share with you a little later in the morning.
little later in the show.
A little later in the show.
Oh, it's too blue for this time of the morning.
Yeah, we got to wait till at least 7:40 to get that one out the door.
That's right. We can swear after 7:40.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
Still no sign of Chrissy Kerrigan this morning. Chrissy, not my knee Kerrigan, was supposed to come in this morning.
What's
Has
with
not
the
shown
nickname?
up. Well, because Kerrigan, like Nancy Kerrigan. Not my knee.
Oh, gotcha.
It's
gotcha.
spelled
Well, that's
differently.
a little deep, isn't it?
It's pretty deep.
Yeah.
That's right.
Spelled and pronounced differently, but other than that, it's identical.
It's not. It's spelled differently. It's not
Nancy
pronounced.
Kerrigan, Chrissy Carrigan.
How'd you spell pronounce Nancy?
Sorry. Say that again. Chrissy Kerrigan, Nancy Kerrigan.
So Kerrigan with an E, Carrigan with an A.
Oh, wow. I think we're splitting hairs.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Those differently pronounced, differently spelled words.
They're not
related to a
differently pronounced.
1990s figure
They're
skating
very
incident.
similarly pronounced. All right. It was a bit of a deep cut.
Half the audience was white. That's not true. There were no cuts. It was just bruising.
All right. Fine.
It was good.
Yeah,
it was good.
It was a deep tissue contusion.
Good stuff.
That's right. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
problem.
See, I make an effort.
I was trying all day to make sense of that, and I was like, yeah, okay.
It doesn't
I
matter.
assumed-
She's not here.
I assumed Chrissy had hurt her knee.
Well, I mean, she's an athlete, right? So
She's
it's
an
like,
athlete.
she's probably had a knee injury at some
She's
point.
probably, yeah, right?
All right.
Yeah. I feel like I've seen her with a couple of wrapped up knees.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Probably, right? Yeah.
But it was
Anyway,
good. It was good stuff.
She's not here. Ollie, you had something written on the board when we came in. It says, nut allergy Bridget.
Oh, what a wild ride yesterday afternoon in the cabin radio office.
And then something about sex pigs? No, that's something else.
So that's
nut
you
allergy.
being weird.
No, that was
Not
us-
on the morning
that was
show,
us
you
looking
terrible
at a
individual.
local Swedish paper.
That's Sweden being weird.
Yeah.
We're not going down that road at this time of day.
That's pretty funny, though.
So we have a new neighbor,
Yes.
and she turned up yesterday afternoon in the cabin radio office with cookies.
Struggling to breathe.
She turned up with cookies. Like, here you go. Like, I've made all these lovely cookies. And
Nice.
and so it was lovely little
Like her
moment.
already?
Very nice.
Okay.
And then just as I was just like halfway through, about to swallow the first bite of this delicious cookie, she burst back through the door and declares, "Oh, yeah, you shouldn't eat it if you're allergic to nuts."
By the way,
and frantic, like white to the eyes, like, "Oh, please don't!
So you start choking because you were surprised.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and it all descended from there. So that was our introduction to Bridget. Was that Bridget sort of remembers 90% of the messaging at any given
Right.
moment.
Very good.
Right.
But then, now, as we all know, there is one member of this office that will do anything or go anywhere for a good snack.
Yes.
So Penny got wind of this whole cookie situation, and Penny booked it a little bit later on when we weren't looking down the corridor to
Uh-oh.
Bridget's office to make inquiries. as
Just
to-
left Laurier behind. It's
Well,
like, whatever.
Bridget works in Laurier.
Oh, okay. This all makes sense.
So Laurier is already Penny's snack hub.
Yeah.
in
Number
this
one
office.
stop.
And so she nipped down to the Wilfrid Laurier offices to say hello to Bridget. We were still in here and didn't know anything about this until we started to hear a barking frenzy happening across the other side of the building, which Sarah said, that's not our dog, is it?
Oh, no.
There's probably only really one dog in the building. So we went down the corridor into Wilfrid Laurier. Penny is losing it outside a shut door. So poor Bridget, is just there in reception with Penny absolutely losing her mind.
Penny!
Because there was another dog on the other side of this shut door.
Oh,
and I think Penny was furious that someone else had been advanced above her in the snack line without her being involved. And she was furious. So we had to escort Penny back out of Wilfrid Laurier. Penny was not going quietly. You know when you're trying to bring someone out of a bar late at night and then add another thing? No, come on, Penny. You've had enough. You've had enough snacks. Let's get you back. So
wow.
So we had Bridget was there, and Bridget actually said, "Look, I gave you cookies, and this is how you repay me." I'm sorry.
Penny.
I'm sorry.
Penny
so
girl.
Penny, this is the first time I've ever seen Penny have a full-on...
Just a meltdown.
Launch a verbal assault on something. Yeah.
She's getting into her teenager phase.
That's right.
Know?
The terrible twos.
It's bound to happen.
And there was another dog in her snack parlor.
Yeah.
Snack parlor. I want one of those. Just to touch on the impersonation of somebody getting pulled out of a bar that you just did there. I would love it if I was able to do that for you one day. Just kind of... Not violently, but just kind of drag you out of a bar.
Come on, Ollie.
Arguing
Come
politics or something with somebody. And another thing. And then we all leave the bar and we all have a good laugh. I think that would be good.
That sounds like good, wholesome fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're arguing about something, maybe something silly. Cricket. Yeah.
Well, cricket.
That is not the hyperbolic sign in this equation.
Well, thank you for the cookies, Bridget. I didn't get any. Are there any left?
No, I ate them all.
Oh, good.
I'm not.
Well, you were protecting everybody else from the nut elf.
Yeah,
that's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well,
and probably enraging Penny.
Yeah, that's right. Just eating them right in her face. She's like, yeah. Very good. Thank you, Bridget. Bridget's new at Wilfrid Laurier. Great.
Welcome to the cabin neighborhood, Bridget.
We do not get along with them. We have an inter-office kind of rivalry with them, right?
It's mostly because we don't do our dishes in our month in the kitchen.
Well, you know what? I've set foot in that kitchen twice. And once
you.
And once was to microwave my underwear.
Scenes on the cabin.
Let this be a reminder to you all that this organization will not tolerate failure. Gentlemen, let's get down to business. We've got a lot of work to do.
Someone help me! I'm still alive, only I'm very badly burned.
Some of you I know, some of you I'm meeting for the first time.
Hello up there! Anyone? Can you call an ambulance? I'm in quite a lot of pain.
You've all been gathered here to form my evil cabinet. Excuse me. Yes, he's down there. No, not dead. Burnt. Badly. Yes. Right.
If someone could open the retrieval hatch down here, I could get out. See, I designed this device myself and... Oh, hi. Good. I'm glad you found me. Listen, I'm very badly burnt, so if you could just... You shot me!
Right. Okay, moving on.
You shot me right in the arm! Why would you shoot me?
Scenes from the cabin.
Know the movie? Submit your guest to mailbox@cabinradio.ca or send us a message on Facebook for your chance to win gift certificates to some awesome Yellowknife restaurants, including Zehabesha, the Monkey Tree Pub, the Woodyard Eatery, Copper House Restaurant, and Java Roma. Listen to Cabin Radio every weekday to win, or download the Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
Wheeler and Lekter with you on your Tuesday morning. Ollie, taking a well-deserved 5-minute break. In the news this morning on cabinradio.ca, you will find a story about a police investigating some NASCAR maneuver on Forest Drive over the weekend. Friend of the show, Avery Zingle, posted this on Facebook. A picture of a vintage Chevelle SS Good identifiers. I've seen this car around town.
Okay.
And what happened is that she didn't see what happened. She heard a screech, and it sounded like a burnout, sounded like someone doing a burnout. And when she looked up, took a picture, Chevelle was already through the fence at the yard at CBC, across from the Winks. Across from Circle K. So obviously she put it up there and just like wondering if anybody knows who this is, and just kind of like asking, what the hell, man?
Right.
What the hell are you doing? Like, I understand you've got this big muscle car, but maybe don't burn out. And she said that it almost hit it looked like it almost hit some kids. Don't know that much.
Right.
So cabinradio.ca, you can find out more about that. There's the picture there as well. Obviously this is it's annoying. It's annoying if it was something that like the guy was trying to do a burnout or trying to impress somebody or just try to flex or whatever.
Yeah.
And lost control and went through a fence.
Because like, it annoys me.
It does.
I am agitated.
I am
right now
perturbed.
Just under that pretense.
That's right. So goes through the fence. I mean, obviously, like the danger is inherent there. It's you could run into somebody, run into another car, run into a person,
and there's there's a playground right there.
There's a playground. Right? Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a little further down, but it's not in that yard. But still, like it's not a good look.
No, you shouldn't be going through fences.
Now,
bottom line,
in the story in which Ollie interviewed Avery, I like Avery, but I love her tempered outrage because it's just like. You're an idiot. However, if you were sick, I understand, but still.
Right.
So she allowed that, something like ill health, like perhaps the person was having a panic attack or a heart attack or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
would have caused the driver to behave erratically.
Right.
But said the incident would be inexcusable if that were not the case. And that's absolutely right. That is bang on.
Pretty well.
Because, I mean, there is some behavior inherent with people who drive vehicles like that sometimes. I'm not saying all.
Whoa,
some people just like to have them, but some people like to burn out. They like to show off that muscle.
There's like 3 Facebook pages with 15 members that you're
really
almost enraging.
That's right.
now.
And I hope I am, because if you're doing burnouts on city streets, just dial it back a notch, all right? And she even says it so succinctly, which is amazing. The last quote in the story was just, having a cool car does not entitle you to drive like it's NASCAR or something. Relax.
Oh.
It's Yellowknife.
Oh, what's that? The Yellowknife Burnouts group has just unfollowed the Cabin Radio.
That is a different group. That is a different group altogether. But
they were never with us in the first place.
But I mean, stunting is something that goes hand in hand with like jacked up vehicles or muscle cars or big trucks. It's right there. Like there's the diesel trucks with the pipes that will burn out the black smoke, and they do it specifically to kind of, to flex, right? There's burning out in a truck or whatever. It's all really just kind of annoying. You might want to call it, some people might call it toxic masculine behavior or whatever. It's just stupid is what it is.
I kind of like get annoyed, but deep down I'm like, it's pretty cool.
It's kind of cool. I mean, what's your name? You have any number?
It's stuff that impresses 12-year-olds. And I have a 12-year-old in me, so every once in a while I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. But I mean, if you're doing it on a street, like in an intersection, like give it a rest, man. Like go out on the highway or something like that. Do a burnout for whatever reason, but then nobody will see it.
Well, that's
the thing.
There's no point in doing it.
People have to know how cool you are.
That's right.
Especially if you're a middle to upper middle-aged man.
Yeah.
In an antique muscle car, people need to know.
But again, benefit of the doubt. Could have been a responsible driver. Something could have happened.
Something could have happened.
They maybe panicked a little bit.
Listen, I will give people the benefit of the doubt for years. I'm a liberal. For years, I will give people the benefit of the doubt. However, given the circumstances, and given that the person did not end up at the hospital after, and just fled the scene, because that's still a hit and run. They may not have hit another vehicle or a person, but they ran through someone's fence, the property on CBC there. They ran through the fence.
It was just CBC's fence?
Yeah. And then
it's
left.
covered. Then.
That's covered. It's absolutely right. It's coming off our taxpayer bill, but it's a hit and run. That's what it is.
Yeah,
like you destroyed some property and then you took off. So you're a coward and you're a little
coward.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You're a coward. I mean, if you don't have insurance, that's a whole nother issue.
Yeah,
you didn't have insurance, so you fled. But I mean, you left. You left the scene of an accident. That's what you did.
Yeah,
and that's
not great.
Pretty childish behavior.
Yeah.
I mean, why not just stay there like a man that you're purporting to be with this car and deal with the consequences of your actions?
What if it was a woman?
It may have been a woman with
Don't
toxic
rule that out.
masculinity issues. But I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, like, the car's cool, great. You got a cool car. If you did a burnout, went through a fence, man up.
I'd like
and fess up to it.
Hazard a hypothetical guess as to what happened here.
Okay.
So it was on Forest Drive.
Yes.
Is there still construction on Forest Drive?
Yeah, further down.
Yeah, so they probably just forgot halfway down. They're like,
Yeah.
oh God,
I
I don't want to turn down Tommy Forest Park.
And they must have
Drive.
been going all of 15 kilometers an hour at that point, unless they burnt out across the friggin' intersection.
Well, Yellowknifers don't plan their routes very well, so sometimes you can be surprised by this.
Here's what I will say. The benefit of the doubt, yes. I hope that person was having a heart attack or a panic attack, and that's what caused them to do it. Because I want to believe that person wouldn't endanger people around them for something as stupid as burning out in their friggin' car.
Strange thing to say, but we all know what you mean.
That's right. I hope so. I hope that person had a heart attack. That's all I mean. Maybe just chill on that stuff there, because I mean, time and place, right? There's a time and place.
Time and place for a heart attack.
There's time and place for a heart attack. Time and place for burning out. Maybe if we're having some sort of burnout contest out by the sand pits, that's where you could do it. You should probably organize that.
Keep your heart attacks.
Keep your heart attacks to
out
yourself.
from behind the wheel.
That's
all
right. Yeah, keep your heart attacks
comfort
to
of
yourself.
your own home.
Yeah. Don't bother anybody with it.
Just go to the hospital, then have a heart attack.
That's
all right.
That's right. Just know that you're going to have one. So anyway, there's got to be maybe one or two of these cars in town. This person's probably going to get found and pay for the fence, I guess. But just, maybe, take your head out of your butt and don't try to burn out on a public street. That's all. I'm not trying to be a killjoy here, although I probably sound like one. I don't know. It's stupid. That's all.
Easy way for those campaigning for the national parties in the upcoming election.
That's right.
If you want this guy's votes, you'll pay for that fence.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
If you're up for a little debating, Lauren McGinnis, friend of the show, Lauren McGinnis, moderating the debate tonight for Cam Lake. That's at the NJ McPherson School starting at 7:30. If you want to see the literally dozens of candidates for the Cam Lake riding, you can go there tonight and see a bunch of people make promises they can't keep. Some people who straight up don't understand what's going on. And me possibly asking you the question, why in Grace Lake is there like 80 lots and not 160? Why is it good for Yellowknife to have a $1.9 million home?
I hope Lauren is just merciless.
I hope so too. Well, he's
just
moderating. He's not actually
roasting
supposed
people. Oh, so he's just going to be just a moderate.
Just a moderate.
Just kinda,
that's what I mean. It's literally right there in the name. Moderator.
Go get him, Lauren.
That's right. Lauren, we love you.
Don't listen to your job title.
And I'm just joking about the debates. I'm sure everybody knows what they're talking about and will make promises that they can all keep. That is not a personal attack on anybody. If anything, it's on me because I would make all kinds of promises, and I will, running for deputy MLA for the entire city of Yellowknife. Pizza Fridays are going to be a thing. We did want to talk about this is a story that broke a couple weeks ago here, but has been broken over the last week in Ontario, across Canada. Every province and territory seems to be falling short of their cannabis revenue goals. That's right. The NWT fell short by 80%. 80% of what they expected. It's almost as if it was done poorly and without much thought. And when you see places like Colorado or California reaping tens of millions, hundreds of millions, into the billions in tax revenue for cannabis legalization. Yet here in Canada, we just can't seem to figure it out. Maybe we're too nice. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe, hey, we don't have America probably has a lot more experience dealing drugs than Canada does. I mean, look at the crack epidemic in the 80s and the 70s. CIA headed that up. That's not a conspiracy. Look it up. Ontario falling short $42 million in cannabis revenue. Again, almost as if this wasn't a well-thought-out idea. Here's the thing. In the NWT, especially here in Yellowknife, it's in a glass case. One glass case at the far end of a one liquor store is where you can get your cannabis. And all the cannabis is garbage. That's right. It's garbage. It's overly dried. It's not properly picked or anything. It's just garbage. They're also not selling any UV protected canisters that you should put your cannabis in. They're not selling things that to keep them moist. It's dry. It's brittle. It's gross. And why should anybody pay $45 to $50 for an eighth? That's just over 3 grams when they could get an eighth. I don't even know if you can buy an eighth from the gray market because no one's selling it at that small an amount. You can buy an ounce for $100. Why would you buy an eighth for $45? It makes no sense. That's why there continues to be a so-called illegal market for cannabis in Canada.
I'm getting really sick of your skirting, pussyfooting around the issue. Tell us how you really feel, Jesse, just for once.
Don't talk about my
for
feet.
For once.
How I feel about this. Let's see. Okay, in Halifax. We were in Halifax for about 12 hours on our way back from from the UK.
Right.
And they have a dispensary there that is just wonderful. It's a full space. And I mean, I know we're still fighting for that here, and somebody's probably going to do it, and somebody will probably do it poorly. But there was this huge space, and they had computers set up, and it's like, what kind of high would you like? What do you enjoy doing? What would you rather do tonight than blah, blah, blah? And you kind of isolate all these things, and you're like, this strain would probably work really well for you because different strains do different things to different people.
Right.
And if you want a different experience, that's also a thing. Cannabis is not just getting high and laying on a couch. Cannabis can be used for a lot of different things, including lessening anxiety or just activating you with a bit of energy, sativa, indica, whatever you want to call it. So it isolates the strain. I'm not allowing Ollie to talk on this one. And, it isolates a strain that could work very well for you. And then there's the strain there in a little canister that you can smell, so you can have the sense of smell. You can have isolated experience. That's how it should be done. Now, their cannabis is coming from basically the same source, but their cannabis wasn't dried to the point of being sand, and there was a lot more variety. Across Canada, we seem to be doing it in a bunch of very different ways to varying degrees of success, but they're all lacking success. So it's varying degrees, but everyone's losing money. Yeah. Ontario's losing $42 million in revenue. Cannabis and the NWT falls short of revenue targets by 80%. That is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It's dealing drugs. It shouldn't be this hard. People have been doing it forever and ever. People are still doing it. That's why there's still a gray market. A buddy of mine on Facebook, I won't say who, but works for a delivery company, right? Because those still exist. You can order online. You can order edibles. You can order cannabis. You can order oils and things like this.
Right.
So that market still exists. He posted $42 million in lost revenue in Ontario. I wonder who stole it. And I was kind of like, well, you kinda. And I'm not taking him to task, but he's part of that, right? That there's still this gray market that exists because the government has chosen to do this so bloody poorly. Like, why wouldn't you engage some people who dealt? I guess that's a little untoward, I suppose. But I mean,
if the whole idea was to, number one, just take money away from the black market to cut into that, and why would you not engage those who you have made criminals for all these years?
You can't, though. The government can't be seen to be engaging with criminals, Lekter. Not blue collar criminals. They can be seen to be engaged with white collar criminals, SNC Lavalin, but. Not even that. But they can't be seen to be engaging in those kind of activities. This legalization feels less like a freedom of choice thing and more of like, well, we need to just make some revenue off of this, and this is a good way to do it. And then they screwed that up too.
Is it not just needing time? Like, as in brand new, newly regulated thing? Like, does it not just need a few years?
Well,
people start getting it right now that you've got people who you can legally ask.
Yeah. Colorado made over $100 million in its first year.
Yeah.
See, they engaged with criminals.
Well, they
That's
just
the way to
they
do
just
it.
did it properly, and they opened it up to a bunch of different strains, a bunch of different growers, and they had experience doing it.
Well, my question, and I'm not super familiar with the details of what Colorado and Washington and other states that legalized first did, but did they open it up to privatization right away, or was this this whole governmental
privatization came in very, very soon, if not right away?
Okay,
yeah.
So I mean, I'm sure that has a lot to do with it, because it's not the government footing the bill for all this infrastructure that you suddenly have to put in to start these operations.
And here we are, over almost a year later, right? Or has it been 2 years? Is it 2 years or has it been a year?
Less than
it's only
a year.
been a year. We're
approaching
up,
one
coming
year.
up on a year, October 16th. Right?
Yeah.
We're coming up on a year.
Yeah.
And we're still not making any, we're making a little bit of headway in privatization here, like to have a private dispensary. Hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
But we could have rolled out with that being a thing. All of these.
I mean, we had enough time to think about it.
But we've had years, decades to think about it. But all these delivery services that you can still engage with online and order these things. The government could have been just like, hey, you guys want to work together?
Yeah.
We can't do edibles just yet because we have no idea what edibles are. But we can't do that just yet. But let's engage with you on what you're selling and how you're getting it to people because that way we can make some friggin' revenue out of this thing. But again, why would anybody pay $45 to $50 to $60 for an eighth when they can get an ounce for $100? Have good quality cannabis.
Yeah.
The only advantage, which is becoming less of an advantage as people get more educated about these things, is knowing which strain does what and what THC markers you need, what cannabis, what CBD percentages you want, things like that.
Yeah.
As people become more educated, that's one of those things that you'll have more access to on the gray market. And that was one of the advantages that the government had. It's like, we know where this came from. This is the THC percentage. This is the CBD percentage. This is exactly what it's going to do. Here it is.
Yeah.
And now they don't have that. They don't have that foothold anymore because people are becoming more educated about it.
Yeah. But I mean, there is a logical explanation as to why the government has, or the provincial governments have lost money in the first
that's
year.
what governments do.
It's just, it's questionable, perhaps, the way they decided to undertake the legalization of cannabis, but they did what they did, and we probably should have predicted that there would have been losses in the first year.
Well, one of the big sources of the losses, I imagine, I don't know, is the containers, is the amount of packaging. That
well,
goes into
that's
this.
just the stupidest
And
thing.
what's so funny about the packaging is that it's not even proper packaging. It's all of this packaging. It's not hermetically sealed. It's not airtight. It's not anything. There's nothing to keep the cannabis moist inside of it. There's nothing. It's improper packaging for the cannabis. Yet it's excessive as well.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds like government issue to me, man. Excessive and inefficient. That sounds good.
But we just get better from here, right? It's on the up and up.
Well, when they legalize cocaine, I imagine they'll do that probably.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.